Hello, it's April 22nd. Thank you for joining us for prayer on Wednesday. It's the second week of Easter. And today the church brings us to the beginning of John's Gospel. We're in chapter 3. And today, if you can envision yourself seeing large sporting events or other events, every now and then we see someone holding up a sign saying John 3:16. Well, today, that's where we begin reading, is John 3:16. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that everyone who believes in him might not perish, but might have eternal life. For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world might be saved through him. Whoever believes in him will not be condemned. But whoever does not believe has already been condemned, because he has not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. And this is the verdict, that the light came into the world, but people preferred darkness to light because their works were evil. For everyone who does wicked things hates the light and does not come toward the light, so that his works might not be exposed. But whoever lives the truth comes to the light, so that his works may be clearly seen as done in God. The Gospel of the Lord. So that everyone who believes in him might not perish, but might have eternal life. So what do you think it means to believe in someone? What does it mean when someone believes in you? This last week, like you, I ended up finding movies of my past, and so I spent some time watching Rudy, the great Notre Dame story, which also brings me back to one of my favorite stories, the Hoosiers, which brings me back to my high school basketball coach, Mr. Dornbach. Believing in him meant that I learned to act and behave and prepare myself as he taught. And so I'm wondering if believing in Jesus means that you and I get to know him so well and are inspired by him so much that you and I learn to live like him, to behave and live like him day in and day out. And one of the things that he teaches us is that Jesus came so that people would not perish. Well, all around us, unfortunately, people are perishing because of a virus. And so, in a sense, we are all living in some type of darkness. I'm sure it is getting old for us to stay in our homes and be inconvenienced because we are hoping others will not perish as a result of that action. We hold up those who serve us in healthcare and retirement centers and law enforcement and police people and firefighters who risk their lives that those they serve may not perish as well. This week is Earth Week. One of the things that we've been told is that there are cities that are usually covered in smog, which are no longer covered in smog. And so is it possible that we have been living in darkness and not seeing that our Earth is being destroyed right in front of us? When we see all the vulnerability around us and the fragileness of people not being able to be fed, with us not being able to have enough protective equipment for those in healthcare and first responders as they come to serve others. Are we beginning to see that there is a lot of darkness already around us and that there is a virus that has been in our culture and in our society? And so we know that how we live in darkness is we draw ourselves towards the light by the deeds that we do. And so that's a question, not just in the time when John wrote, but in our days. Are our deeds of light? Are the deeds that we're doing deeds that we really don't want anyone else to see? Are our deeds those that indicate that we're doing everything we can so that others may not perish? And it is very difficult because many are perishing in all kinds of ways from this. But are the deeds we're doing, are these actions that would suggest that what we're doing is being done in God's name? That you and I are behaving like Jesus behaved, that you and I have come to believe that God sent his only begotten Son into the world that we might be saved and not perish. That is the good news to ponder. Today I thought I would also take the opportunity beginning now to update you on some of the things that are going on with our parish. As you know, we've been providing this Wednesday prayer and then some Sunday prayer. Sunday prayer has been possible because of past experiences of prayer and music. And so great thanks to the music ministers, those who have taken pictures and recorded of our past moments so that we could string them together to give us a sense of familiarity with our church. And thank God for all the people who know how to do the technology to take all these pieces and put them together so that you can view them on Sunday. We've had anywhere from 1,000 to over 2,000 people viewing, and that could be households, of course. So we're grateful for that. We have had 800-900 people view the Wednesday morning. Grateful for all that. Last week, you noticed we began to bring in some live musicians, and we're going to continue to do that. Hoping to learn that one of these Sundays in May we'll begin to be able to live stream a Sunday Mass. Again, with just 10 people or so in church, but that we can actually celebrate Eucharist together as a community in that space, not just in the past, but in the present. And someday, hopefully, we'll be able to come and pray there together. As you know, our buildings are closed like all other buildings, but our school continues to teach our students. Our teachers have been for weeks and will continue to the end of the year, teaching our students virtually, helping parents to help their kids at home to keep learning. And so that's one of the things we're doing. We had 3 more sessions to Alpha this year, and they were shut down with this pandemic, but we've now begun to do them virtually, which has been a positive experience, learn how to gather people as a group and break them into small groups, and that has gone very well so far. We have enlisted parishioners to reach out and call any parishioner who's over 71 years old to check in with them, see how they're doing, if they need anything, if we can connect them with anyone to assist them. And so that's one of the things we're doing. And all of us at the parish, while we don't work at the parish, we're still working. We're learning to meet virtually with staff, with one another, with councils, pastoral and finance, with different ministry meetings, different groupings. We continue to work that way to continue to serve you. And this is a time when we're having to learn anew, so we're all spending time learning from others to how to do church when we're socially distant, but that we want to stay connected with each other. And so it's a learning curve for all of us. And as you know, we've made the decision to cancel our festival this year for the safety of our guests and also all the workers. And we're working to create some other plans once we know what we're able to do. But as you know, the festival was a great community celebration. In the last few years, it has provided over $100,000 worth of income for the parish. And so, you know, that's going to be a big loss for us this year. So I want to thank you for your generosity. And whatever generosity you can do till we can get back together again would be much appreciated. As you know, Father Rule was scheduled to come to Holy Apostles on June 16th. As of right now, the Archbishop has put those dates on hold. Not sure when that's going to happen, but I will be here until Father Rule comes. Again, back to the scriptures about light and darkness. It is so easy to think other people choose light and darkness, but not just us. And so if you're never quite sure how you may draw yourself closer and put yourself in the light, I invite you to list things of gratitude in your life, the people and the experiences for which you are grateful. Great gratitude brings us into the light. Thanks for joining us today for this prayer and this update at Holy Apostles.